fun. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Zoe Caffin, and
I'm Mary.
we are identical twins, caffeine enthusiasts, and longtime story lovers.
Long-term story lovers.
And we've loved stories for a long time. Welcome to our channel, our cozy little corner of the internet, where Mary is going to talk about what we're going to talk about.
So, typically we're going to dive into the things that we're reading, what we're watching on TV, just kind of the storytelling aspect, what we're liking, what we're not liking at the moment. But today we really want to focus on our own writing journey and how we go from coming up with an idea to actually writing a full novel together.
Yes, and that's what this channel is going to be about. We basically want to be live beta readers for anyone who wants to send in material, for our own material, and just working with others through the writing journey of becoming an author. We know it's really hard. We're in that stage. We've written 3 books now, and we're still working to get one of them published, hopefully by the end of the year. So it's just tough out there, and we think people can use encouragement and basically
Support and more eyeballs and just,
yeah. Okay, cool. So we didn't tell people to come sit at our table.
We can always splice that in.
Yeah. Okay, I just
That's our
realized
catchphrase.
that. Okay, so we forgot to say our catchphrase in the beginning. Pull up a seat, come sit at our table.
No,
Wait.
it's come sit at our table. It's
Come sit at our table, we've saved you a seat.
How do you not know our
Today we're going to talk about concept generation. How do you come up with an idea for a novel, and you want to make sure it's a really solid idea because you're going to be working on it for months unless you are a crazy
speed
writer and you turn it out in seconds. So, Mary, how did we come up, which idea were we going to talk about? How did we come up with our idea for Death Do Us Part?
Okay, so Death Do Us Part, we're currently working on it, and it's a romantasy novel. And so I think when we were brainstorming the next book that we wanted to write, we kind of had this wild idea. Why don't we just say the craziest thing that popped into our heads and see what sticks?
Yeah, this is actually a technique though. So I go to USC and I'm in business school in a new product development class. And this is one of the techniques that our professor taught us for generating ideas, and it's called generating the wildest idea. So we came up with some crazy ideas. Mary, you share one of your ideas, and this actually helped spark a pretty decent idea.
When you're sharing crazy ideas, you need someone who doesn't
Don't
judge.
judge.
You got such a judgy look on your face when I said that.
Well, honestly, it was hilarious, and it helped. It actually helps to come up with crazy stuff.
Crazy things. So what I said, what if we write a story about invisible centaurs that are working for the CIA and solving crimes all around the world? They're a secret world organization, but they're invisible centaurs with powers.
And then you said something about an island. They went to school
and
on an island.
There were 3 different schools. Kind of like Harry Potter with the houses, but I was thinking there were centaurs on the beach.
Levels
and then there were centaurs in the mountains. And then there were centaurs in a forest. And they had schools in these different locations. And they learned how to be these badass CIA agents.
Can you imagine a book on centaurs fighting crime?
Okay, but what happened after I talked about the centaur idea?
And then maybe a month later, there was this huge viral video about half horse, half man.
That song.
Having a Tinder date.
Yeah.
And centaurs
people loved it.
I mean, yeah. So I felt bad about it.
She had to apologize to me after centaurs was a thing.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. But that led to other ideas. We talked about different murder mystery ideas. We talked about paranormal romances. We talked about a bunch of different romance tropes, like friends to lovers, enemies to lovers.
And it was all still out of the box. We were just trying to say the craziest thing, but then it would spark an idea and we would latch onto that one, so be okay, but then what could we do with that?
Now, if you don't have someone with you that's generating a wild idea and you're doing back and forth, maybe you're just writing the book on your own, which is how most people do it. I would say get a whiteboard, get a blank sheet of paper, and just start writing them down, right?
Make a list.
Yeah, make a list, or don't even put it in a list. Just
Freeform it.
Freeform it, and that way you can see all your crazy ideas, and it'll start to get your creative juices flowing. We actually did a little bit of research to help, and this might help people too, is we went on Quora and Reddit, and what did we find on there?
We said someone made a post about how basically this editor made a post about a writer that they're working with, and they said, I have a writer making $80,000 a year by writing some not great material.
They said it was really bad, actually.
They said it was really bad, and they were just writing it. It was kind of a side job for them, but they were selling their book.
Yeah.
And people are always looking to read. So it kind of made us relax a little bit. Okay, we didn't need a world-class idea.
But what was the main thing that we picked out of that? Not the world-class. What kind of books were they writing that they were making money on?
Oh, romance books.
They were making, this is what the editor said, and take everything on Reddit at face value. So maybe we're completely wrong here. The editor said they were writing 8 crappy romance books a year, and they were making $80,000 per book, and these were self-published books. So when we saw that comment, a light bulb, right? Let's then focus on the romance genre. There's mainly the demographic of readers is women. Women love romance novels. It's one of the highest selling genres in all of books, besides maybe fantasy, and I completely could have just made that up, but we'll have Mary fact check it after this episode. And disclaimer, we are not
experts,
like a best-selling published novelist. We are just sharing our own journey of writing through 3 books. So take everything we say
with a grain of salt. If you want to educate us in the comments, then we appreciate it.
Educate us.
Educate us.
Educate us, please. Oh gosh. Okay. So what do we talk about? We talk about concept generation, creativity technique, generating the wildest idea. And what is that called? What's that? There's a phrase for that.
We call that divergent thinking.
Yes. Divergent thinking. That means when you're coming up with just a bunch of different ideas, very diverse, and they could go in any other direction. Some other good techniques, actually. So, constraint-based techniques. What if scenarios, right? It says start with an extreme or twisted version of a common situation. So give me a what if scenario.
So what if I'm cooking eggs in my kitchen and a man bursts through the door and tells me he's Santa Claus?
That is so crazy, Mary.
What?
I was just thinking something about Santa Claus.
Were you actually?
No, I'm not even
kidding. What were you thinking?
I was thinking, what if Santa Claus attacks somebody
while they're cooking eggs?
That's the craziest thing. You actually just thought of Santa Claus?
I just said it, yeah.
We just had such a twin moment.
Had to be her.
You were legit thinking of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Santa Claus bursting in and attacking someone.
While they were cooking eggs?
No, not with the egg thing. Okay. What if? Do a what if scenario. Another constraint-based technique. Genre mashups. Ooh, I like this one. Combine 2 unlikely genres. Give me an example of this.
Okay. What if we combined 2 unlikely?
Give me 2 unlikely genres. Yeah.
A romance.
I got a good example.
Horror?
Oh, a horror romance? What would that be?
They're both twisted individuals, but they love each other. I'm thinking of serial killers now.
No, that's a novel.
That is?
I've seen this one on Goodreads. The Blackbird and the Butcher, where it's 2 serial killers fall in love.
You know what and also, isn't that the show You? Doesn't he meet another serial killer girl?
Oh, really?
And they fall in love?
I did not
in
know.
One of the seasons?
No, I didn't know that.
Somebody let us know. I think they're both kind of twisted a little bit.
Yeah. Serial killer romance. That's a good one. A horror romance. Kind of like a paranormal romance.
Yeah.
Okay, here's an example. A legal thriller plus fairy tale.
Legal thriller?
A legal thriller. So this is what the example is. The big bad wolf on trial. Say you wrote a novel about the big bad wolf from Little Red Riding Hood. And it was a novel about him on trial for eating Little Red Riding Hood.
That's wild. That'd be
So,
funny.
and that's another thing. That's kind of like generating the wildest idea, but I like that.
Yeah.
Genre mashups.
And you know what you could do if you're
Yeah.
stuck? You just write maybe a few paragraphs.
Yeah.
Kind of, and just get it flowing, get it
I'm gonna
going.
eat some of these because
Yeah. You don't have to
No.
write the whole story,
No.
but if you write a little bit, kind of get into that mindset, that might help.
I really
That's
like that
That's
idea.
funny.
Okay. And the last one here is random word or image prompts. Use a
Okay.
random word generator or a Pinterest image to start a story.
Okay.
This one,
That's
I don't
kind of
know how I feel
hard.
about
I
this,
still
yeah.
feel like that's hard because you're starting.
it's still a random word. Write something involving salt water. What is that?
Ooh,
As you
I'm
could write a
thinking of
novel about
saltwater taffy.
Oh, I was thinking
And
about
this
surfing.
girl
A
looking
girl
for
named
the best
Saltwater
saltwater
Taffy.
taffy, and then she gets into some predicament. I don't know.
She's searching for
She's
saltwater.
searching for the best saltwater taffy, and something goes wrong at the store, and she's now involved in some sort of
The Big Bad Wolf's trial.
that she ends
We
up.
just did a super genre
I
mashup.
know, you just took that way far.
You said something bad, Adam.
Yeah, that's
Okay. That's constraint-based techniques. So you had what if scenarios,
Mhm.
genre mashup, random word or image prompts, and we're a little.
That one might be hard.
Yeah,
that one might be hard.
Okay, here's some other one. This one's called mind-bending thought experiments.
I like that.
This one feels a little bit like generating the wildest idea, but here are 3 things you could do. Inversion. Flip a known story, trope, or idea on its head. So I'm gonna give you an example, and then you try to think of one.
Okay.
So here's a inversion. That sounds so weird.
I mean,
Inversion.
say inverted story.
Inverted.
It's fine.
An inverted story idea. Example. Here's an easy one. Instead of a hero saving the world, what if the villain tried to save it in their own way?
So like Megamind.
I
So funny.
loved Megamind.
That was such a fun movie.
Mhm.
He was such a
Yeah.
relatable villain, the underdog villain.
I think a lot of the times in a lot of books you have especially for fantasy young adult novels, and we read primarily fantasy and young adult novels. The female main character is so badass and good at what she does, even though she's super weak and frail, but she's just so much smarter than everyone, and everyone likes her, but she doesn't have that many friends, but she instantly makes friends and all the boys love her. That's so unrelatable.
So unrelatable.
And Megamind is so relatable. No one likes him. He's always failing. I can relate to that. And
He's always striving. He's always
Yeah.
trying to do better, but something keeps messing up, or he just
Yeah.
keeps messing up.
I just love that.
But he doesn't give up. He
No.
just
With humor
Yeah.
and that's honestly one of my all-time favorite movies, and I'm
Yeah.
just realizing that now.
We should rewatch that. It's been a minute.
Okay, do you have an idea for an inversion?
Okay, what if... No, this is wild. And the Red Riding, I can't get off the fairy tale thing.
Yeah.
What if the Tooth Fairy came in and stole little kids' teeth
Oh, instead?
instead of leaving...
That's so dark.
I know.
Took the tooth out of their head?
Is that creepy?
That's the creepiest. That
So
feels
it's
like a genre
horror.
mashup.
Genre.
Horror.
Okay,
a lot of
inverted
fairy
it.
tales though are horror. The original
Grimm?
Brothers Grimm, were very grim.
Okay, so that's what... Then maybe that's why I'm...
Yeah, so that could fit actually just with fairy
What
tale.
if she left a tooth instead of and took their money?
Where is she getting the
She had
people's
from all
teeth?
the other. She just stopped taking teeth. She started leaving teeth and taking money from people.
That
started
just
robbing
feels. That's
people's
just.
houses.
I don't
Okay,
even
too
know.
much.
Okay, well, that's no idea is a bad idea.
See, no judgment zone.
I
Safe
hated
space.
that idea.
I know you did.
Okay. Here's another mind-bending thought experiment. Here's the second one. X through the eyes of Y. Describe something familiar from a completely unfamiliar perspective.
Okay.
Oh, I have a good example
Go.
for this one.
Let's hear it.
No, I want to hear yours first.
Okay, mine's.
Give it to me.
I feel like this isn't a safe
Yeah.
space.
No, it is.
Okay, so I really love cooking. So what if I'm about to cook a meal? Maybe I'm about to cook a fish, and the fish is describing me as I'm getting ready to cook it.
Okay, that's actually really good. This one, my example is a couple's marriage, seen through the eyes of a houseplant.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
I really like that. That actually would be such a cute book.
Or a dog, or a cat, or something that's just in the house and witnesses a couple's marriage.
That's so cute. I really
it could
like
be cute, or it could be sad.
Or it could be sad. You could take that anywhere.
Oh,
I love that.
Could be interesting. Feel
My
free
fish
to use
idea
it.
is my fish idea, the fish
And then I'm just picturing the ending. Then halfway through the story, there goes the narrator. The narrator's dead, boiled in oil.
Okay, I like your idea. Your idea wins.
But yours are generating good ones for me.
Okay,
see how that works? Good job. Okay, here's the third one. For mind-bending thought experiments. Time-hopping brainstorm. Imagine how your story would change in a different era.
Ooh.
So, let's think of something in one era and shove it in another.
Okay, what about... we've been watching a lot of Regency movies, Bridgerton, Gilded Age. So what if they were in the modern times, but you still had to do this whole societal asking for someone's... I know we still kind of ask for someone's hand in marriage. It's way less formal.
But the balls and the parties.
The walking on the promenade, and those were like the still the ways to court someone, but we're living in modern times.
Well, I think that's a good idea because that's a book series. I'm pretty sure Selection was that.
Oh, really?
That whole book series was future America, maybe, and they were courting a prince, and they had a whole, you had to act like a princess, you had to go through a process. So they took elements of a different era, medieval, maybe Regency, and put it in the future, futuristic.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. So, oh wow, there's quite a few. So let's just talk about a couple more because I think these are helpful for concept generation. Yeah. Okay, mixing real life and imagination. So let's just cover what we did so far. We've done constraint-based techniques. We gave you 3. Mind-bending thought experiments, another 3. Inversion, X through the eyes of Y. Time-hopping brainstorm. And then here's another section that you could try. Mixing real life and imagination. So the first technique here is an eavesdropping notebook. Oh, I actually do this. If I had my phone's recording. But you can write down snippets of overheard conversation in cafes and public transport.
Oh.
I had this one professor. Do you remember when we went to the pitch competition? And he was saying the most outlandish things. He said, if you don't do well, we're going to pitch slap you. And he was saying and I would take my phone out and I'd write down what he was saying. Yeah.
He said some really funny stuff.
Yeah.
And so you wrote those down, and that kind of... And even if you're trying to think of a character to go into your story, he would have been a great character because his personality was really dynamic. He was saying
some outlandish
off-ball
things.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of weirdos out there, so...
Including
us included.
So
use snippets that you hear in real life. Yeah. It could be fun. Could be a fun people watching exercise. Okay, wow. This one's interesting. An obituary shuffle.
What does that even mean?
Read old obituaries and don't cheat.
Sorry.
And invent a fictional backstory connecting 2 unrelated lives.
Okay, so where would I go to get an obituary? I don't get it. Do I just look that up?
I'm thinking of the image Mom sent. One of the skeleton with the hair.
Said it was grandma.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
People don't need to know that.
Yeah. Obituary shuffle. So I think you can type in maybe to Google
obituaries.
Just obituaries. Maybe newspaper, magazines. I wonder if they have that on the Wall Street Journal because I do have the Wall Street Journal app, but I haven't seen obituaries.
I've never even thought to look.
So. I think that's a kind of a cool. It's a little dark, but
so you just find an obituary and then you write a backstory for them.
No, you read old obituaries and invent a fictional backstory connecting 2 unrelated lives.
Oh wow!
Yeah. But you could do what you said too.
Okay, that's cool though.
So that could be something interesting. That's just different ways to get ideas flowing. You know, you don't have to just have a magic idea pop into your head. You can use the resources around you.
Yeah.
And then dream journaling. Keep a journal by your bed. Write your dreams as soon as you wake up. I don't
remember dreams.
Really. I had one really freaky dream.
And usually they're weird, right?
It was like this giant bug massive, like the size of a small dog, running around the roof of the ceiling of my bedroom.
Oh no.
And I thought it was going to attack me, and it turned out to be Pippa. It was just Pippa.
Our little Yorkie.
We
Pippa?
have a little Yorkie.
Our parents do.
do.
We don't. We can't have a dog.
Yeah.
Here, but.
So, and it looked at first like a giant cockroach.
That's a little creepy.
Yeah.
But
so
but
I'm not going to write
story,
that down. Yeah. It says even fragments can spark surreal scenes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 more big sections, role playing and immersion. So here's another idea to spark some.
Do you need a person for
concepts.
this? Do you need a partner?
You might need characters.
You're gonna role play.
Well,
with
okay, no. Here's one: character speed dating.
Okay.
Write short, rapid fire scenes where characters meet in absurd context.
Okay, so
Give me an example of what that would be.
characters meet in absurd context.
Give me an absurd. Why am I saying absurd?
Absurd. Here you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking of a pro soccer player
Mm-hmm.
gets trapped on this boat
Mm-hmm.
with maybe a journalist or a photographer,
Mm-hmm.
or they're trying to get to the same game, though I don't know why they would be on the same transportation.
Mm-mm.
And then they get trapped somewhere, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's never like this journalist. This journalist has always gone after him, and they end up
Mhm.
somewhere stranded together.
Mhm.
Maybe they get stuck in the elevator on their way. Something happens.
I really like that, and that sparked an idea for me.
Okay.
A big time celebrity and their number one biggest fan gets almost stuck together on some island where they're getting chased by a cartel or something.
Yeah.
So the fan, it's like the saying, don't ever meet your heroes. The fan realizes the celebrity is kind of a jerk, and the celebrity realizes the fan, even though he thought he was a freak and a creepy person, or she has a really incredible life and has done a lot of great things.
Yeah.
More than the celebrity.
And is doing everything
Mhm.
to get them out of the situation where the celebrity's kind of lazy or just not helping.
Or they're just, they realize
they're butting heads.
Maybe the celebrity, oh, I love my fans, and the fan, I'm so obsessed with the celebrity, and then it's kind of
The
could be
real
an enemies
you
to
comes
lovers.
out. Yeah.
I'm almost thinking of Romancing the Stone, where you remember Romancing the Stone.
No.
Oh, I love this. It's a woman, if I'm describing the right movie, a novelist and a sexy adventure novelist. This woman, she's just writes these amazing adventure romance with this one very hot, sexy, kind of like Cowboy Dundee character.
Okay.
But she's very nerdy, plays it safe, never leaves her apartment. And she writes about this guy finding treasures and always picking up women, and then she gets stuck in one of her own.
Wait, I feel like I've seen this.
I think I'm forgetting who it is. So she ends
It's
up
not
on
Drew
this.
Barrymore.
No. She ends up going on this adventure herself on accident and meets this.
It's an older movie, right? Okay.
Yeah, meets this character. They
Is
find
he kind
a
of a
stone.
Crocodile Dundee
Yeah,
type
he's
of
the
person?
Crocodile Dundee, like a Australian
Australian.
Glenn Powell.
Pierce Bronson.
Yeah, and I'm blanking on the name. I think it's Goldie Hawn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could be making that up. But Romancing the Stone was a great one.
Yeah.
I really liked that. Okay, so that was character speed dating. We came up with some weird ones there. Interview your characters. This one feels kind of weird. Ask them uncomfortable or personal questions as if you're a journalist.
So this one you would need, that's the problem, because you would need to have your character
Have to know your character.
know them, and if you're still trying to even come up with an idea for the novel, that might be difficult. But a lot of ideas, center around a character.
yeah.
So either you come up with the idea or the character first, but this could help flesh out the idea if you have a character in mind.
For the book that we're trying to get published this end of year, it wasn't centered on a character. But for our second novel that we ever wrote, which was 120,000 words, that was centered around characters. We had a specific character in mind we wanted to write about.
Very character driven.
It was we actually had a cluster of characters, and then we painted the whole world and plot around them.
Yeah.
So you could do it that way. Okay, write as someone else. Choose a historical figure or celebrity and write a scene from their POV in a totally fictional setting.
I like that. That's fun.
Yeah.
Who would you write from?
No, who would you write from?
Oh, me?
Let me repeat it for you. Choose a historical figure or celebrity and write a scene from their POV in a totally fictional setting.
Gosh. I want to say...
How would you even write that?
Who is really funny? I would pick Jack Black, and I'd write that he is going to visit the Queen or something, or that he was summoned to have tea with the Queen. And
this is so random.
You said a fictional setting and choose a character. I think Jack Black and
going to see the Queen.
Going to have tea with the Queen, and he's bringing musical instruments because we've all seen him in School of Rock.
Wow.
Wait,
I mean,
is Jack
this
Black
is a safe space, but I hated that idea.
You do? And he's singing her rock? You don't like that idea?
We're going to need to come back to that.
Okay.
Choose a historical. I'm trying to think of an idea. No.
Yeah.
That was a great idea. I apologize.
Don't limit yourself. Go
Yeah.
crazy. Say something,
Yeah, Jack Black.
Why not?
Why not?
You don't have to run with that story.
No, you don't have to. Don't.
Don't run with it. Maybe throw it away.
Okay, here's our last section of ideas for concept generation. All right? Experimental play. This one
What does this
sounds
mean?
a
play?
little R-rated. Experimental play.
What?
Yeah.
Now I want to hear it. What is this?
Okay. Blackout poetry or found text collage. Use newspaper clippings or book pages to create new prose or poems. That's not that bad. Blackout poetry sounds way creepier.
You thought getting drunk and trying to come up with it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like turning out all the lights and saying...
blackout and blackout. I don't know if that does anything for you.
Let us know if anyone tries experimental play and blackout poetry.
That could be fun. I feel like that would take a lot of time cutting out clippings and putting them into a story. But turning off all the lights and
yelling poetry at the top of your
slam
lungs
poetry
could be useful. We'll try that one for our next book.
I don't want to do that.
Okay, here's one. Automatic writing. This one stresses me out. Set a timer for 10 minutes and write without stopping or editing. Stream of consciousness. I think...
Oh, yeah, the timer.
I would just be staring at a blank page for 10 minutes.
Me too. I feel like you need something to get it started. Like a word or an image, and then put the timer on.
Yeah.
But that still seems hard.
We should do that as an exercise for an episode. And we should set a timer, write, and then read each other what we wrote.
So, okay. That's going to be on an episode. That's a good idea.
Yeah, actually, concept generation. Okay, reverse storyboarding. I feel like we've heard of these.
Yeah.
Sketch or describe 3 random images and invent a plot to connect them.
Okay. If you can't
draw. This one's hard. We can't draw at all.
You could look up a picture and do that, but...
Yeah. Or, a lot of OpenAI has image generators, so you could just ask AI, make 3 images for me, and then try to write a story around what ChatGPT gives you.
Yeah. I feel like ChatGPT might give something kind of
scary
or weird, but you could try it.
And you could describe the tone. I don't like really using ChatGPT for anything concerning writing, but I will say concept generation is good. If you're just having it come up with images or crazy exercises for you to help spark creativity, I don't think that's wrong.
No.
On our end, we haven't tried any ChatGPT yet to come up with ideas.
Because I feel like the human mind is, you can be as crazy as you want. You can have such original ideas.
Yes.
And so just trust yourself.
I think ChatGPT would be good for ideas, not good for the rest of the writing piece.
No.
So,
but try it. It's a tool at your disposal. So
yeah. Oh, we didn't tell people to come sit at our table.
We can always splice that in.
Yeah. Okay, I just realized
our catchphrase.
Okay, so we forgot to say our catchphrase in the beginning. Pull up a seat, come sit at our table.
No, wait. Come sit at our table. It's come sit at our table. We've saved you a seat. How do you not know our catchphrase?
Oh, God. Okay. So I think that's all of the ideas. So today we talked about concept generation, aka divergent thinking. Mary, recap us. What are some of the things that we discussed?
Okay, so we talked about the what if scenario. What were the three things?
Constraint-based techniques.
So one of them was the what if scenario, then we had the genre mashup, and then we had the random word or image prompt, which we both didn't really like.
No, we didn't like that. Then we had mind-bending thought experiments.
Okay, so that was inversion or inverted story, because we didn't like that word.
Yeah.
I really liked the X seeing or describing the eyes through Y. What was that?
Yeah. X through the eyes of Y.
X through the eyes of Y. I like that one. I thought that one was fun.
Yeah.
And then the time hopping brainstorm, which I also think was a fun one. You didn't like that one?
No,
I
not
kind
as
of liked
much.
it. The Jack Black visiting the Queen? Or was that something
That
else?
was...
I was stuck on that one.
Okay, then mixing real life and imagination. I liked this one. What were the three?
Oh, eavesdropping. I feel like that one is a really good one.
Eavesdropping notebook.
Yeah, so bring a little notebook, listen to the people around you.
Obituary shuffle.
Oh, that was a fun one.
Dream journaling. And then last we had role play and immersion and experimental play.
Yeah.
Again, let us know if anyone tries blackout poetry. That sounds crazy.
Poetry, yeah.
Okay, so let us know if this helped generate ideas, share some ideas. Feel free to send us anything that you've written that you want to get feedback on from two people who have absolutely no credibility but love to read. We would love to read it and then come share our thoughts.
Yeah, even if it's just for encouragement, question, support, we're here.
Or if you want honest feedback, can also just message us if you want honest or just nice things to say.
Yeah. And so that's the goal of our channel. We really want to build a writing community where we can all share ideas, feedback, and just go on this writing journey together.
Awesome. So pull up a table. We've saved you a seat. Sit at our table. We've saved you a seat.
Cheers at the end.